give you one either. What in the world am I doing that at?
Set up, come back in like 20 minutes.
Is it already recorded? Oh, God. It's gonna be yes.
I need it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, that's right. I'm just first.
Sir, don't be my example. I'm telling you. Do not be my example, because I would gladly make one of you and won't think twice of it. All right, guys. So let me.
What?
I'm saying she really a superhero.
I'm the nicest person in this class.
All right. So here we go. Let's get ready to turn this light off. This is our talk about themes. We are focusing on theme. As you guys remember, man, please say my thing word, my clicker word. I need my clicker to work. Oh, it does work. No. All right. So, as I explained to you guys yesterday, one of the things that we're going to be focusing on this week is theme. We're focusing on theme and we're focusing on summary. More specific, objective summary. So, this is what we're going to be working on right now. So, here is our learning target for today. Aaron, read for me.
I can demonstrate understanding of the text from chapter 14 of the Summer of Mariposa. I can determine the theme and analyze his development in the Summer of Mariposa chapter 14. I can write an objective summary of Summer of Mariposa text.
Yeah, so you guys need, hold on for a minute, baby. You guys are going to need to understand how to do a theme and how to do an objective summary. Right, the goal is to write an objective summary for the Summer of Mariposa chapter 14. The goal is to determine the theme for chapter 14. That is the ultimate goal. But prior to that, I am getting you comfortable with understanding how to identify a theme, how to be able to pull it out, and how to be able to tell the difference. When you look at this assignment is all about that. You have to choose between theme and summary and be able to identify the two. It's clear as day. So, next one. Theme is, Andrell, read for me.
Theme is a central message that stretches through an entire story, drama, or poem. You can think of the theme as a story, as being like the lesson or the real-world application of the story. Themes often explore timeless and universal ideas. Themes can be stated outright, or they can just be implied.
Harlan, would you like me to move you?
No.
Why are you turned around?
Yeah, why?
Focus on the board, please. All right, we're going to watch a quick video.
Hello readers, today I want to talk about themes. A theme is an important idea that is woven throughout a story. It's not the plot or the summary, but something a little deeper. A theme links a big idea about our world with the action of a text. Sometimes a theme answers a question the story is trying to explore, like, what does it mean to be a family? Or what are we afraid of? Themes will be statements that answer these questions, like, you don't have to be related to someone for them to be your family. Or, we are afraid of losing our individuality. Now, theme is different from the main idea of a story or its summary. The main idea is what the story is all about, and the summary is the events of the story. It's the plot, it's what happened. But the theme is a lesson or a message that you can take out of the story and apply to your own life. Themes are universal, that is to say, anyone can relate to them. So if I tell you a story about how I got food poisoning the one time I ate a sketchy roadside hot dog instead of packing my own lunch, the theme isn't avoid Sticky Pete's hot dogs on Route 91. The theme is it pays to be prepared. Because not everyone has a Sticky Pete's. But everyone can be prepared. Ugh, why did I eat it? Why is it green? A theme is similar to a moral, but a moral is more about a specific lesson it's trying to teach you. A theme could be a lesson, but it doesn't have to be. Sometimes you can discover the theme by asking yourself some big questions. What did the characters learn? How did they grow and change? Why did characters act the way they acted? What's different at the end of the story? And what stays with you after the story is over? Let's go through a folktale and see if answering these questions helps us to uncover the theme. This is a story about Anansi the spider, a heroic trickster from West Africa. Anansi was clever, but he wished to be wise, wiser than everyone, in fact. He decided that he'd take all the wisdom he could find, all the wisdom in the whole world, and gather it all inside a little clay pot. But he didn't like having it in the house, this pot of knowledge. What if our kid knocks it over? He asked his wife, Aso. What if someone comes over in the night and steals it? Who's coming to steal your pot, Anansi? She asked. Nobody even knows you have it. It's not safe, Anansi cried, and he decided to hide it. I'm going out, he said. Don't follow me. Whatever, said Aso, who went back to doing something that was actually useful. Anansi wandered through the forest, lugging this enormous clay pot of wisdom, never aware that his little son, Ntikuma, was following close behind. Not tall enough, said Anansi, looking at a cliff. Not deep enough, he said, frowning at a canyon. Aha, said Anansi, when he came to the prickly thorn tree at the edge of the forest, near a little stream. Now this will do just fine. Anansi had many legs, and he was very strong, but even he could not climb the tree and carry the pot of knowledge at the same time. He scrabbled up the tree, then slid back down again.
Guys,
He
your head
wriggled
should be
up
up.
the tree, then slid back down again. He clambered up the tree. Hey, Dad, Anansi's son called out. What? What? I said nobody follow me. What are you doing here? Anansi cried. You should tie the pot to your back, Dad. Then you can use all your legs to climb the tree. He was right, but it didn't matter to Anansi. I'll teach you to give me advice, you little miscreant, Anansi yelled, shaking his fist. The same fist that held the handle to the pot full of wisdom. It went sailing into the air as time seemed to slow down. Oh no, said Anansi. Oh no, said Anansi's little son. And the pot smashed open right there in the stream, carrying all of Anansi's carefully gathered up knowledge into the ocean, sending it out to the whole world once again. You are in so much trouble, Ntikuma, Anansi said, clambering back down the tree. And then he said, ow, 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 because in his haste he had poked himself on the thorns of the tree. His son took off running for home, and Anansi raced after him. And as they ran, it began to rain. And as the rain came down, Anansi stopped running and began to walk and think. Ntikuma's plan would have worked after all. When he at last caught up with Ntikuma, he apologized for losing his temper. What was the use of all that wisdom if I can still be outsmarted by my little son, he said. The two of them embraced. And because of Ntikuma's timely interruption, a little bit of Anansi's knowledge lives in us all today. So, our questions checklist. What did the characters learn? Well, Anansi learned that even if he had all the wisdom in the world, a child could still have a better idea than him. How did the characters grow and change? Anansi apologized for losing his temper and realized that he wasn't the only person with good ideas. Why did characters act the way they acted? I think Anansi was greedy. Why else would he want to have all the wisdom in the world and not share it with anybody else? And what's different at the end of the story? At the end of the story, everybody gets a little bit from the pot of wisdom. It flows out into the ocean and gets sent to everybody. And Anansi realized that keeping all the wisdom to himself still didn't make him the wisest all the time. Finally, what stays with you after the story is over? The fact that all of us, you, me, your Aunt Matilda, all of us have a little bit of Anansi's wisdom inside of us. So a theme of this story could be anyone can have a good idea, or wisdom is inside all of us. What it could be, anyone can have a good idea, or wisdom is inside of us. So if
Then look at those questions they asked. Do y'all see those questions? What did the characters learn? How did they grow and change? Why did the characters act the way that they acted? What's the difference at the end of the story? And what stays with you after the story is over? What? Yeah, I'm collecting that. Yeah, what? What? Alright, so listen. So as y'all look, do y'all see why they ask? Let me ask you a question. Why do you think they ask the questions that they ask? Why are these particular type of questions important when you're asking about a thing? Trying to figure it out. Yes, it's Stacy. Okay. Can anybody piggyback off of what she just said? Did you not hear her?
I didn't hear
Repeat your statement and say it a little louder.
They're trying to see what's the most important in the story.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Alright, so can anybody piggyback or do you say that's it? Haley, can you help me out? Can you help her out? Can you add to it? Amari, can you add to it? Sanaya? Corey? Can you add to it? Yes, Asia. Say what? Say that again?
She said it can help you understand more by asking those questions.
That is very true. Louise, do you have anything to add? No. Zandre, do you have anything to add? What did she say?
Yeah, he can't
I need you to focus.
I can't hear her. Focus.
Say it, repeat it again, Asia.
Because sometimes finding the things really hard. So asking these questions to yourself can help you understand.
Alright, so let me also, and that is, you guys are both correct. Let me give you a little extra nugget. When you're talking about this, do you see how universal these are? These questions are very universal. That means it's not detailed to it's not detailed saying like what was the character doing. I mean, it's not detailed like that. These questions are very universal in, like, for example, how did they grow and change? That right there is subjective. Because how Stacy thinks they grew and changed could be different how Zandre thought they grew and changed. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So when you're looking at this, you're asking questions. When you're picking out that theme, you're asking questions that could be understood by everyone. Does that make sense? Because the theme is a lot bigger than the main idea. Because it's something that you take with you. Because sometimes when you read a story and you just get the main idea, you're done. Okay, I'm over it. Now I'm moving on. But that theme
of the story could be, anyone can have a good idea, or wisdom is inside all of us. What theme would you give this story? Discuss it with your friends, your classmates, your family, and let us know. The theme of all of my videos is and shall forever be that you can learn anything. David out.
David out. I love this guy. This guy is absolutely amazing. I love him.
Yeah.
All right.
Grammarly is your personal writing assistant for clear emails, confident messages, stronger essays, and more. Because sometimes the kitchen table is the office and the classroom.
All right. Theme. Oh, I gotta put it on that thing again. Harlem, read for me.
As readers infer, reflect, and analyze the literary theme, they develop a greater understanding of the work itself and can apply this understanding beyond the literary work as a means of grasping a better sense of the world.
All of it.
Theme is often what creates a memorable and significant experience of a literary work. For the reader. As a literary device, theme allows the author to present and reveal all aspects of human nature and the human condition. This enhances the enjoyment and significance of a literary work for readers by encouraging thought, interpretation, and analysis.
All right, so do y'all see that when it comes down to theme, right? Do y'all have any questions? Do y'all see how one word keeps popping up all day long? It's analyze. Analyze, analyze, analyze. That is what you guys are going to be doing forever. When you guys are reading, you always going to have to analyze. Head up, baby girl. You always are going to have to analyze what you're reading. It's not an end all, be all. It's not, oh, the sky's blue. That's it. Why is the sky blue? What does it mean that the sky is blue? You're going to actually have to think deeper and deeper and deeper as you get older. Your days of second grade reading is over. That's not your life anymore. Let it go. All right, Andrell, give me an example. Read the slide.
Here are some common examples of literary themes. Here are some common love, redemption, mortality, human versus nature, good versus evil, coming of age, revenge, courage, and perseverance.
Any questions? These are examples. These are common things that you will hear out throughout. Like, for example, that human versus nature thing. How many of you have seen where people be trying to outrun a tornado? You know them tornado chasers?
Yeah.
Human versus nature. How they always try to do something to outwit nature. So you always got to ask yourself, who is smarter, nature or humans?
Me.
Self-confidence.
That is a forever battle. That is because when, let's say for example, a hurricane is nature, right?
Yes.
Have you figured out how to stop a hurricane from doing so much destruction?
Yeah, just leave.
But that doesn't stop the destruction.
You could leave, but it's not gonna stop it.
So who's stronger? Humans or nature?
Depends.
I don't know. That is a forever battle. Or the whole thing about good versus evil.
Good, evil.
You just never know. It's a forever battle. They always say good always triumph. Evil, right? Ain't that what they always say? Isn't that what they say?
I like how you use that pronouns.
So, like, well, for example, but I bet you some of you would say evil outweighs good.
Yeah.
You can find that in every story.
Yup.
But that is a constant tug of war. This one is one too. Courage and perseverance. I mean, how many people have you guys seen that has like no legs but still defy odds? They still are winning.
Stephen Hawking.
Who's Stephen Hawking?
Who is there?
You don't know who Stephen Hawking?
No.
That dude in the wheel.
Like for example, or how many of you have known these people that have autism, but then are like super smart?
Yeah, Stephen Hawking.
Oh, that's him.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There
that's
it is.
him. Oh, that's him.
All right, so let me go because we gotta I gotta really keep on schedule today.
He's really smart.
He's just. That dude in the wheel.
Girls, line up, please. My girls.
I think
He's very smart.
My girls. And Stacy, go ahead and stand up. You know what he's saying too. You're quiet in the hallway. Thank you so very much.
No, don't do that. Please don't ask my cause. Please don't got you got clean soap. One day I'm gonna just
Alright, my boys, line up. Y'all know where to go. I don't want to hear talking in my hallway.
Yes, ma'am. Black boy. A message by Miss Price?
Bro, she said it's now email.
Oh, she said that? Oh, yeah, she said, you signed it. Get it signed.
I do, but I want to get rid of this first. We'll talk to this one.
Did it make it screen black?
Let's go. No talking in my hallway.
I'll keep it back.
I don't want you working on your work. I guarantee you, I'm giving you nothing but ones today. I promise you that. All right, guys, let's finish this out real quick. We got 2 more videos to watch, and then that's it. And then we gotta get into our reading.
All right, that's Stacy.
See, better. Let's go, Joshua. Why are you all the way on this side? Who am I missing? You guys need to move like you got a purpose. We got things to do.
There's so many dudes in the bathroom.
Black shirt go down.
You may. Thank you. You already know? I haven't did that yet, but I will. Why am I here and talking? Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go. Aaron, why are you there? Why are you there? You're not making any sense.
I was giving him stuff.
All right, so matter of fact, Aaron, read for me.
I can read that one.
Oh,
I can read that one.
I don't read it. The short statement of convoy. The name.
I can read it. Conveys.
Exactly.
That doesn't matter. Go. We're all learning. Go. All right, so we're gonna watch the difference. Now listen. Doing this, we are learning about an objective summary. Pay attention because there are different types of summary. On this test that we're going to be getting on Tuesday, yes, we got a test. And we got a test on Tuesday.
Exactly.
Hold on, listen to what I'm trying to tell you. We got a test come Tuesday on chapter 16.
I'm not gonna be here on Tuesday.
I'm not gonna be here on Tuesday.
You mad?
No. Okay.
Me.
Get rid of that. You got not there.
Listen to what I'm saying. All right, I'll wait. Again, we got a test on Tuesday on chapter 16. It's going to be it's going to be heavily dealing with what has went on in chapter 16. I need us to get there. I can't get there if I'm stopping every 5 seconds regarding behavior. Can't do it. We need to get through this slide. We need to get through this stuff. We need to get this and we need to read. You guys don't have that much time left. All right, so you guys gonna have to understand because on the test, you're gonna have to be able to identify a theme. On the test, you're gonna have to be able to do an objective summary. So you gotta know what you're doing.
Hello readers, today I'm going to be talking about the skill of summary, which you might be familiar with in the form of summarizing stories. It's like a retelling, but shorter, and in your own words. This is an important skill, summarizing fiction, but it's not what we're talking about today. This kind of summarizing is used when you want to sum up the information in a non-fiction passage, like a magazine article, a book, a news story, a scientific paper. Most scientific papers begin with a quick retelling of what the paper's about. So say you're a scientist and you discovered a cure for robo-flu. Let's say robots can get the flu, first of all. And the abstract, the summary retelling at the very beginning of your paper about your cure says, hey, under these conditions, we learned that this medicine cures robo-flu. And then the reader goes on to look at everything else you've written in your long scholarly paper. So how do you do it? To make a summary, you will need your own words, the order of events or information from the text, and important details from the text. So what's not in the summary? Every last detail from the original text. I think I first read something like this in a Neil Gaiman novel, but here's the deal. Imagine you were coming to visit me, and you asked me for a map of my neighborhood. Now, if I included every single detail in my map, who lives next to me, every tuft of grass under a tree, it would stop being a map and just become a 1-to-1 scale drawing of my neighborhood. In other words, it would be useless as a map. A summary is a map of my neighborhood with only the important bits in it. My apartment, a metro stop, Rock Creek Park. When we make a summary of a text, we are in effect making a simple map of that text. And it's your job to determine what details are necessary, the most needed. Like, say somewhere deep in that paper on how you discovered a cure for the robo-flu, you had written, it was raining on the cold November day, our team first identified the robo-medicine. Like, would that be an important enough detail to include in the summary? I'd say no. The big picture is that the team discovered the medicine. not that it was raining when it happened. But if the cure for robot flu involved garlic and motor oil, yes, that's an important detail, because it relates back to the big picture. We discovered a medicine, and here's what's in it. To conclude, let me summarize. A summary is a short retelling of a piece of text with only the important details included. It's like a simple map of a place. You can learn anything. David out.
I'm out. I love that man. I'm telling you. David out is amazing. All right, so, guys.
Whenever the day breaks, Grammarly helps you communicate smarter. One minute.
Hello, readers. Today I want to talk about object.
All right, so guys, when I first told you about, so the first video we watched is just literally about summarizing. When you get a text, remember how I told you when you are summarizing, one of the easiest ways to do it is when you're looking at a chapter, summarize by events. Beginning, middle, end. That's it. It's short, sweet, to the point. You do not need to put all these extra details in a summary because it's not necessary. You just really are trying to give people an understanding of what happened. Hand up, baby. All right, so this is also an important part of an objective summary. This is something you guys are going to have to do on your test. Pay attention.
Give summaries.
Oh, because I'm telling you, it's different. It's a whole lot different.
By way of introducing you to the character of Joe Friday, a fictional cop from an old radio show from the 50s called Dragnet. The show had this iconic theme, and it went like this. Friday was a very straightforward, almost relentless character, and the catchphrase associated with his character was, "Just the facts. All we want are the facts, man," was the sort of thing that he would say. And that's what we're talking about today, just the facts. There's this idea called objectivity, that you can talk about something without inserting any opinions, which are personal thoughts or beliefs. Doing this, being objective, is very difficult. Opinions want to creep in. So what does it mean for a summary to be objective? It means it isn't influenced by feelings or opinions. It's not written in the first person. It's about the text, not me. And it's not a judgment or a review of the information. Let's be clear here. It's not bad to have opinions. In my opinion, it is good to have opinions, but they do not have a place in summaries. You can put opinions to use when you analyze or evaluate something. When you're looking at summaries and you're trying to determine whether one is objective or not, look for words that cast judgment. Does the writer say something is good or terrible or useful or useless? Let's do this together. I'll take this text and summarize it without any opinions. Polar bears hunt for seals on thick sea ice in the Arctic. As the Earth grows warmer, though, sea ice gets thinner. With less stable ground, some hungry polar bears search for food inland, often dangerously close to human environments. Although polar bears usually keep to themselves, a very scared or angry one could attack and even eat a human. Several villages have set up polar bear patrols as a result. The patrollers zoom around on snowmobiles, using bright lights and loud noises to scare away polar bears. Hopefully the polar bears find another snack later on. Here's my summary. Climate change causes polar bears to encroach on human habitats to search for food. As a consequence, these villages have set up polar bear patrols to frighten them away. As a person who cares about climate change as well as the well-being of bears and human beings, I have all sorts of opinions about this, but for the purposes of summarizing that paragraph, I have to put them aside. Just the facts, man. If you get good enough at making objective summaries, you'll start noticing when opinion creeps into things you expect to be objective. And it won't be obvious, like, bears are terrible and humans are right to scare them away, or climate change ravages bear habitats, sending defenseless bears into the jaws of doom, human villages. But it might be in the way a story is framed. Like, there's a difference between bears move into human habitats and bears are forced into human habitats. What causes them to move? Forced by whom? Or by what? Sometimes what's not in a text can be as important as what's in it. Experiment with this a little. Try summarizing some news articles and see if you can restate the facts of the stories without inserting any opinions. It's a fun challenge, and it may expose an opinion where you didn't expect to see it. Objectively, you can learn anything. David out.
That's my man.
Constant vigilance.
I love him. Yes, David Out is amazing. All right, so guys, let's sum this all up. All right. All right. Adrian, finish this up for me. Finish this slide up for me.
Not influenced by personal feelings or interpretation. Using so an objective summary in short is a short statement or paragraph that tells what something is about, but does not include irrelevant details in your opinion. An objective summary should not be written in the first person I voice.
All right. So to summarize, to sum this all up. All right. Matter of fact, why am I summing it up? You sum it up for me. I know. Let me find out. I want to make sure you guys are paying attention. Zandre, I want you to tell me what a theme is.
I think it's like, I think it's like the moral of the story.
Zandre, what is a theme?
A theme is like the moral of the story. But like, it's not like a summary, like sums everything up, but it's like what you learn or like how that affects you, like how does it scare you or make you afraid? Like,
Asia, is this correct? Stacy, is this correct?
yeah.
Aaron, is this correct?
Yeah.
So all you guys agree that a theme is the moral of the story?
Yeah. Everybody say yeah.
Did I?
You did.
You did. It did say that.
You did.
It did say that.
It's
It's the same thing.
It's the same.
It's a lesson learned.
A moral.
But that isn't, but you said moral.